My name is David Sewell and I run the Pavilion Gardens Café with my wife Vanessa. Grandfather had up to 5 cafes along the beach before the war. These are just some of the first cafes that Grandad had on the beach. First one probably in the 1920s. Nice picture of my grandfather outside one of his cafes and my nan with the background of the Palace Pier groin. And here's a lovely photograph of my mum, who was born in 1931, at Easter 1940, with the war obviously carrying on at this time. A few months later, June 1940, the whole beach was fortified with the threat of Adolf Hitler potentially coming over and invading Britain. And then in June 1940, he got notice to quit from the officer commanding troops, Sussex, and he lost all his cafes in one hit. And the really interesting thing, it was dismantled and re-erected in the pavilion grounds, touching the north side of the pavilion in 1941. That lasted there until 1950 when they built this cafe as we're standing by. And we've been trading in the gardens since 1950 in this building. My granddad, Herbert, passed down the business to my mum and dad in 1976, and then I joined them after university in 1985.
I think it's one of the most enjoyable jobs I've had, purely because I quite enjoy the pace of it. I've had easier jobs, but I've had a lot harder jobs. From what I can tell, the last major change here was the introduction of the coffee machine, and that was about in the 80s. It's a bit like going through a time warp. You know, walking through the back door into the cafe, you're going into 1986.
Milk with both of those? Yes. Have a tea and a camomile? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks very much, yeah.
Can I drink it or no?
Now I'm covering for Teresa while she's on lunch.
We'll carry on using it now, but make a note how long I'm using it.
And I'm talking about Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, is that right? The year is 2025, and I'm probably going back to the late 1980s when, having come here to university, got to know the city, fell in love with the city. When the sun came out, suddenly I stumbled upon this cafe actually, and it was perfect for me. Didn't need to worry about Wi-Fi then, but it was a place to get creative. The sounds of nature, for me, mixed with the sounds of the city, has always seemed to spark my creativity. This seemed to combine the best of both. Grandfathers, grandsons, granddaughters, sons, grandkids, all running this cafe. That's not quite the same as anything on offer in Costa.
One case of Coke and one case of Diet Coke, and that's everything. Thank you very much for the Pavilion Gardens Café in Brighton. Bye.
I don't know, the whole kind of routine of everything, everything is in place and it works perfectly. But you kind of have to learn that little routine of the cafe. I don't think I've had that anywhere else. It's kind of perfect. It's obviously been that way for so many years.
No, I like something like sandwiches or taco potato. I was hanging on my boss David, so he always makes me laugh. And I like to be a part of the family. There's lots of people here, give them good feedback. That's what I like. Because I like my boss, he's very funny. And I like being here with everyone, it's very friendly.
Amazing. I bet people like you as well.
Yeah, no, do.
They start as customers, then become friends.
It's a Brighton institution. It's not at all commercial. I don't quite know how David makes money sometimes, the amount of free tea he gives out.
Occasionally we get a free slice of cake, but very occasionally.
This place here, this cafe, it's our go-to place. It's unique. I don't think there's any place like it in Brighton.
The cafe, I mean, David and Vanessa have become friends, really. You know, they're so enterprising, I think. You know, they really run it brilliantly.
His father was running it the first time I came here. Yeah, and it wasn't posh.
Really bad for the plumbing. Well, hopefully the sun will come. I believe in it. I believe in it.
Thanks,
Enjoy. Thank you.
A mum with a pram and a baby couldn't go in a cafe anywhere in Brighton and have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. And this was the only place where you could do that. My father, who was F. Elwyn Jones, became Lord Chancellor. He got on very, very well with David's father. And they both served in the army in the war. When my father died, there was a service, a memorial service, the Westminster Abbey, and David's family came, which was really nice. They asked me what was my father's favourite tree, which was a magnolia, and they paid for one, and it's planted in the gardens down there. So I have nothing but very happy memories of this place. I think it's special. I think it's very Brighton. People do. I have a friend who's written books sitting here.
Because I was just thinking, you know that cake, that butter that's
It's independent, it's local, people know each other. It has there's a relationship between people in the cafe here. People feel safe here.
I didn't get it all out.
I love the rock cakes. My waistline doesn't, but I do.
We're obviously famous at the cafe for our rock cakes. Grandfather obviously started to bake these and many other cakes from 1941 onwards by the Royal Pavilion, and then we've continued the saga of the rock cakes and scones at the cafe from then onwards.
The secret recipe.
They're traditional. They remind me, my mother used to make rock cakes, and they remind me of that.
The only reason we come is for this gorgeous rock cakes, and I have to say, after 2 o'clock normally, there's none here. This is our entry fee. Thank you, guys.
Nice one.
I have been coming to the cafe since 1945, really. This cafe hasn't changed very much at all from my memories of how it was.
Is there anything that has changed?
I can't think of anything, no, the prices. And to have a cup of tea looking at a palace, I think is delightful.
To be able to be outdoors in such a tranquil setting in the middle of the city is to die for. I mean, it is so special.
I've come here every day in the summer for 10 years. Yes, David and his family have made a big difference to this community.
Because I live in a flat in Brighton with no garden, it means that I can be outside, I can see the seasons change. But it's actually more than a cafe here, it's like a community hub.
And it must be spelt Chappie with an IE, no Y. It was magic. Stand-up would not be where it is today if it hadn't been for Max Miller, who started it, didn't he, really? This is the hub, the centre of Brighton as far as we're concerned. A lot of older people come here just for a cup of tea or a coffee. And we've been doing this now for a couple, 2, 3, 4 years. Every Tuesday, come what may, probably a bit of snow occasionally, but it's lifeblood. Every August we have a garden party. We're growing as you film, actually. Max was Brighton, he was born in Brighton, he lived his whole life in Brighton, he died in Brighton, and I'm sure he must have had the occasional rock cake here in the Pavilion grounds. Every year we organised a garden party in the Royal Gardens, if you like, and we raised money for charity, a whole range of different charities, running to, 20,000 quid at least. All the big names that would actually come along, people like Roy Hard, who was our president, for example, Dot Cotton, and she was June Brown, that was it, Judy Cornwall, another actress, amazingly Ken Dodd, for example. They wanted to be here, they wanted to be part of it, and they joined in and enjoyed the tea. It was quintessentially Brighton. And the celebrities always loved to come and take part. The most recent one that I can remember was Eddie Izzard. And our tradition of garden parties will carry on here as long as we jolly well can. More power to the garden party of Bert's Rock Cakes.
And David and his family had to put up such a fight not to get the cafe taken out of their hands.
My name's John Richards. I'm director of Queen's Park Books, community publishing company of Brighton, in that what we've done is publish stories of the people who've lived in Brighton over the last 100 years, generally sort of first-person accounts. This isn't just a cafe. It's a cultural space. It was a cafe sort of filled with significance. When people think of Brighton, because they think of the Pavilion. That's the iconic image. And yet there's a place just across the road which has its own struggles and history. So we wanted to highlight that bit.
Well, I was a councillor and the mayor for 1 year. I've always been a champion of this lovely cafe, despite many attempts to reformulate it or even close it down.
There are various proposals to build sort of a 2-floor thing, to demolish the cafe and build a 2-floor thing there. What we felt you couldn't do is say, we are going to change this, when in fact many of the things that you want to change are sort of well liked, well loved and well used.
The fact that this is an alcohol-free premises is really, really important, and I hope we continue to resist, and there have been many attempts to licence this, but we don't want that.
That sort of motif at the time of sort of, gentrification and change for its own sake was one that the cafe can rebut quite adequately, I think, now.
It is unique.
It's independent.
Unpretentious.
A bit off the wall, it's a bit unorthodox.
It's sort of my backyard.
I mean, David calls it an oasis in the city, and I think it is an oasis.
This becomes a unique place that celebrates locality and uniqueness, and that's what draws me here and has done for many years.
I can't praise it enough. It's just my go-to place. See, here comes the sun.